This is part 2 of my 2-part series that looks at Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's Batman Zero Year, their retelling of Batman's origin story. If you haven't watched part 1 as of yet, make sure to click here to watch part 1 before you watch this video. Now, where was I?
That's why you see the development, the change, because the book is talking to me.
And Capullo doesn't just change Batman's appearance for these arcs, he even goes as far to redesign Bruce Wayne too, giving him a military-style buzz cut, which feeds to the idea that this is a much younger Bruce. A Bruce not known for his millionaire playboy persona, but more a determined, serious personality. And in terms of personality, this Bruce doesn't come without his faults. Like all the best characters in fiction, a point is made when Bruce makes a mistake or in some cases does something immature. For instance, when Jim Gordon questions Bruce about why he and Alfred had previously exited a dry well that leads to the Wayne Manor's foundations, Bruce tells Gordon to take a look, seemingly risking the discovery of the Batcave. However, when Gordon goes to take a look, Bruce presses a button that signals a colony of bats to fly out and scare Gordon. And Snyder is extremely subtle about this kind of thing too. Whether it's Bruce giving a short, blunt answer to either Alfred or Gordon, or even flipping the bird to the Red Hood gang in the opening pages of issue 21, Snyder has taken a side of Bruce we rarely get to see, a reckless, wild stallion who is slowly learning to realise the greater responsibility Batman must possess. Another brilliant feature in the series that sets Zero Year apart from other Batman arcs is the way that FCO Plascencia uses colour to really modernise Gotham and set the comic's style apart from anything we've seen before. These uses of bold, bright colours bring something really fresh to this contemporary work, and using colours like warm yellows and hot pinks to really stylise Gotham actually enhances the way that Batman looks in front of Gotham as his backdrop. The colour scheme alteration is especially interesting when you compare it to more traditional uses of colour in Batman comic books. For instance, rather than the blacked out Batmobile we have all become accustomed to, even in Snyder's own work, Zero Year's Batmobile is bright purple. Another example being the bolder, brighter colours of Gotham, and how they paint a much different tone than the greys and saturated blues in works like The Dark Knight Returns or Year One. Even in newer versions of Batman, like in Jeff Johns' Earth 1, which was beautifully illustrated by Gary Frank and coloured by Brad Anderson, the conventional overall colour palette of Gotham is for the most part adhered to. Therefore I think FCO's work on Zero Year is extremely original, and paints Gotham in a light that we rarely get to see. And Gotham is one of the central parts to what makes Zero Year what it is. It's not a direct paste or rehashing of Year One's dark and grungy Gotham. Snyder's been quoted saying his original idea for Zero Year was to make a Year One that fits within the continuity of the New 52. However, by doing this, he realised that it would just end up being a bad remake of a classic. Therefore, by modernising Gotham and bringing it into the new era the way it has been, modern audiences can relate to and identify with what Bruce Wayne is going through. Miller's dirty, crime-filled Gotham, where it's unsafe to go out after dark, has been replaced by a city where the common fear is that of terrorist organisations, something that hits much closer to home for a lot of people in a post-9/11 world. And Snyder uses this method throughout Zero Year's progression, all the way until the end where Batman says, "It's always changing. Gotham as we know it, you and I. It exists for a moment in time, its people, its neighbourhoods, the hopes and fears that power it, and then, poof, it's gone, and a new city stands in its place." Snyder is aware that the state of Batman as a whole will always be changing, constantly bringing in new ideas and themes to coincide with the world we live in today. Which is why I think Batman has always rung so true for his audience, people of all ages, genders and ethnicities. Wherever Gotham stands or whatever it represents, Batman is always there to save the day. And in the closing pages of the final issue, we actually get to see an alternate ending where Bruce Wayne retires as Batman and lives a life of love, romance and family. However, we soon realise that it is all a dream. But not one of Bruce's, more how Alfred wishes Bruce's life had played out, in a very similar fashion to the desires of Alfred in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. And soon after, we close on one final splash page, which in a way sums up everything we need to know about Zero Year's Batman. Alfred states to Julia, Bruce's love interest, that he's spoken for, and we see Batman doing what he rarely ever seems to do. He's smiling at the fact that he loves protecting Gotham and saving the day. Again, with the bright pink sky behind him, a picture of excitement and life is painted for the audience. All of this, in essence, sums up the point Zero Year wanted to make. For instance, imagine if instead of this, we'd been shown this. The same context, with the same line of dialogue from Alfred, except the conventional dark, moody atmosphere is represented for Batman. The entire ending would be different. The arc of the character in the story would end on a much more somber note. Therefore, to end the final arc on such an impactful, uplifting note, was to complete the story of not only how Snyder, Capullo and the rest of the team retold an origin story, but also how they reinvented a legend. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this one. I tried out some new ideas for this one, so I hope they paid off. If you did enjoy the video, then be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. I also wanted to mention the support the channel's been getting over at Patreon. Thanks so much for the people that have already pledged to the channel. It's people like you that are really going to keep this channel going and allow me to keep making more of these videos, so thank you so much, it really does mean the world. And if you want to join in on supporting this channel, then head over to Patreon and pledge as little as $1 to support. Thanks so much again, guys, and I'll see you next time.